Hong Kong 2098. In 2098, 90% of the Hong Kong we know is submerged underwater and no longer inhabitable. Most of the remaining population occupies three megastructures: Wing Sum Tower, the Tower of Eternal Life; Wing Side Tower, the Tower of Aeon; and Wing Gao Tower, the Tower of Permanence, located respectively on Tai Mo San, Lantau Peak, and Sunset Peak, the three highest peaks in the city. Those born after 2072, the year the deadliest typhoon in recorded history wreaked havoc on the seawalls, have never set foot outside the towers. The storm of 72 left Hong Kong and many other parts of the Greater Bay Area severely flooded. According to those who survived, the water is foul, putrid, and mixed with enormous chunks of a marine debris, some large as islets themselves. What's worse, anyone who comes into contact with the water dies within days. 40% of the population was wiped out, and many of the survivors fled the city. Scientists haven't been able to figure out what exactly is wrong with the water. The decomposition of the microplastics in the North Pacific trash vortex, however severe, should not have had such lethal consequences. A reigning hypothesis is that excessive deep-sea extraction activity caused the release of an unknown substance, or, some believe, a sea spirit, from the bottom of the ocean nearby. Over 20 years have passed. No solution has been found. Only androids can survive the corrosive liquid outside, but even their metallic bodies degrade after a few months of exposure. Completed in the 2070s and early 2080s, Wing Sum, Wing Sai, and Wing Gao are tree-like buildings over 2,000 meters tall, each playing the multiple roles of residential complex, financial center, transportation hub, and all-purpose vertical locus. The three towers are connected by highways at multiple levels and divided vertically into zones. The area below 500-meter altitude is the slum, where roughly 80% of the remaining population resides. Between 500-meter and 1800-meter are the central business district and the public zone. Above 1800-meter is an exclusive private zone reserved for luxury condos, penthouses for technocrats, and the uber-wealthy, like the four big families. After the Great Flood, rising anti-government sentiment blamed the government's technocratic planning and collusion with fracking capitalists for the loss of their sea, which had always been so integral to Hong Kong's identity. The public campaign took as its mascot the half-man, half-fish creature, Lo Ting. According to the New Narratives of Guangdong, written by the Qing scholar Xu Dajun over 400 years ago, the Lo Ting had once led ungoverned lives in the sea around the Lantau Island area. Legend has it that the people of Hong Kong are their descendants. To suppress the widespread unrest, the government decided to censor the myth of Lo Ting and attempted to erase all records of it, in literature, in the press, in art, once and for all. Fortunately, a researcher at the Asia Art Archive had managed to make a copy of the photographic documentation from a canonical exhibition titled Hong Kong Reincarnated, New Lo Ting Archaeological Find, before it was confiscated. Mounted in 1998, the year after Hong Kong was handed over from British colonial rule to become a special administrative region of China, the exhibition had brought together Fowlkes relics, maps, documents, and photographs by contemporary artists to fabricate an archaeological survey about the Lo Ting settlements. Since the protests in the 2010s, this once half-forgotten project had become the symbol of the city's solidarity. As curator Oscar Ho put it in the curatorial statement, "The authenticity of Lo Ting is up for the public to decide, because Only the people of Hong Kong can determine what counts as Hong Kong's history. To preserve this alternative mythical Hong Kong for its people, though their real home had been changed beyond recognition, several programmers designed an online game set in a realistically modeled present-day Hong Kong, with the exception of the Hong Kong Arts Center, restored to its 1998 condition thanks to the photos, to keep the Lo Ting exhibition permanently on display. Every July 1st, the citizens of Hong Kong log into the game, where everyone's avatar is half man, half fish. Together, they swim through the darkness to the Arts Center, picking up the remaining chunks of garbage while singing spells to bless the beloved land beneath along the way. They linger for hours, savoring every bit of the past while pondering a future when they will again swim in the sea.